Hey, yeah, what's up? This is Disciple Marcello Kearns, reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with them, yeah. So this video basically is going to be about vaccination camps for the unvaccinated people. Vaccination camps for the unvaccinated people. Eventually, what's going to happen is when more time goes by, if we're not hit by which I believe will be hit by another plague, probably, most likely, something else to destroy the relentless gang stalkers. Something else is going to happen real bad. But let's just say the world just still kind of goes on to linger. Eventually, they're going to have to put these people these rebels without a cause, they're going to have to put them in some type of camp, some type of vaccination camp. People that refuse to get vaccinated, you got to go to a camp. Because what are people going to do with you? Eventually, you're going to be pushed out of grocery stores. You're going to be pushed out of everything. And you are just a walking bomb, like a suicide bomber, just walking in and just blowing up everybody with COVID. So I feel like in a matter of time, with these, once these leaders that's going on, these tender leaders that you have now, these compassionate leaders that you have now, when they're removed in the years ahead and you begin to see these more hardcore leaders, you're going to be thrown in the camp, guys. If you refuse, think about 5 years of resistance. What are they going to do with you? 5 years of resistance, resisting the vaccine for 5 years, you're no longer profitable for employment. You're no longer you're like a suicide bomber spreading COVID everywhere. You're going to be considered non-community. That's what you're going to be considered, non-community, because you refuse to get vaccinated. You may think this sounds like the devil, but this is common sense, logical sense. The vaccine is the closest thing to a remedy that you can get. Taking COVID in your body by itself is death for a lot of people, period. I know a lot of you think you're Superman. I know a lot of you think you got this relentless American spirit that's going to help you. But fighting against COVID without a vaccine is playing chicken. You're playing chicken with your life. That's the bottom line. That's common sense. That's based off facts. That's not speculation. If you get COVID, you don't always get the quarantine. I'm saying it again. If you get COVID, you don't always get the quarantine. Not all the time. What happened to the people that died? They didn't get to make it to quarantining. They did not make it to 14 days of isolation. So what does that tell you? Everybody don't make it. What does that tell you? If you don't get the vaccine and you get COVID, you might not make it. You might not get the chance to quarantine for 14 days. You might just be a dead man. How about that? While you're sitting up resisting the vaccine, you may get COVID and be a dead man. Period. In your mind, because you're slow of thinking, you think that, hey, I'll just get it in quarantine. That's what a lot of people thought. They'll just get it in quarantine and they'll be past it. Everyone doesn't quarantine. Everyone doesn't make it to a chance to isolate for 14 days. Some people get it and they're out of here. Game over. No chance for survival. Period. Boom. Now you got people that's getting it 2 times. You noticed that lately? Yeah. Not to mention the breakthrough cases where people are getting it just with vaccinations. Not to mention that. Okay, while you're butt naked out here without a vaccine, it's no excuse for it. And what people are going to start doing, and let me say this. A lot of you people that's all of a sudden wanting to fight the powers that be, wanting to fight against the government, wanting to fight against what you think is false and what is wrong. You ain't been like this in 10, 20 years. All of a sudden now you a rebel. Overnight you a rebel. When people like me, I've been like this way longer than you, consistently longer than you, most likely, and I took the vaccine. I'm more against this government that be now than you are. I'm more against them now than you. And I ain't stupid. You think I'm not going to take the vaccine? Hey, that's their problem. Look, this vaccine ain't about no country. You go to any other country, this is not an American issue. Let me say that again. This is not an American issue. You go to any other country, you're going to have to get vaccinated. You can't escape this. This is not an American perspective. This is not an American conspiracy. This is not American thought. This is a matter of protecting yourself against a Mack truck-like virus, period. You go into any other country, they're vaccinating. You go to any other country in the world, they're vaccinating. You're stuck, buddy. So if you look at it like that, you're up against a worldwide pressure to get vaccinated. You're up against worldwide pressure to get vaccinated. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? So ultimately, eventually, if not America doesn't start doing it, some other country is gonna start putting people in vaccination camps. They're gonna have to. You think I'm the first person to think about this? Eventually, they're gonna have to start putting you unvaccinated people in vaccination camps. Period. Because you're some of the to me, you're those type of people that's just demonic. You're stubborn for no reason. You're stubborn when it's for your better good. That's demonic. I'm not gonna get the vaccine. That's a demon. That's the closest thing you got to lit survival. And so eventually someone is going to put you in a vaccination camp. I think other countries might start it first because they're a little more hardcore, a little more real, a little more harsher, don't really care what people think. They don't have to deal with, all these ongoing politics and things like that. They're most likely going to be the first ones to put to start making vaccination camps. America probably is going to follow suit. America's going to follow suit, but it may take 4 to 5 years, 4 to 7 years. They're going to start throwing y'all in vaccination camps because you refuse to do the common sense thing. Like I said, folks, you either face this virus on, you keep dodging it until you get it one day. That's how it happens for people. You keep dodging it, and you're facing it like a Mack truck. This is like a Mack truck. You can't play with this. You can't say, well, I'm gonna be just strong within myself. There's no such thing. You have no such superpower, buddy. You have no such superpower. And God gives you wisdom. God gives you wisdom. You see these Christians dying? You see these preachers dying that's talking against the COVID vaccines? They're dying. They're dying. Because God gives you wisdom. Wisdom helps you live as well. God could supernaturally protect his people, but God gives you wisdom as well. What are you going to do? You're going to keep dodging this until one day you get it and die? And you're going to keep angering these powers that be that's looking at you not getting vaccinated when there's no other logical thing to do. They're going to eventually get tired of you and put you away from society because you're a non-community citizen now. You're a non-community citizen. What can we do with you? I'm talking about this ain't from no mark of the beast point of view, New World Order point of view. What can we do with somebody in a common sense situation where we got a virus, not a conspiracy, not a struggle between this faction fiction, not a struggle between Republican Democrat. We have a virus here. eventually this virus is going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's just not going to make sense for people that's walking around unvaccinated. It's just not going to make sense. You've had enough time to research it, and 2 or 3 years from now, there's not going to be any tolerance. You've had enough time to see what the virus do. You've seen it in your family. You've seen it around you. You see there's no other way out. You've had enough time to think about it. You've had enough time to research it. You're not a scientist to research anything anyway. When did you become a scientist? So what kind of actual research are you going to do that they haven't done? That part, boom. What kind of research are you going to do? With your barely high school diploma self. What kind of research are you going to do? You're not going to do any profitable research. All you're going to do is look up the articles of what they say that's in the vaccine. That's all you're going to do. That's all you're going to do is find the Pfizer, the Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. All you're going to do is look at what the doctor said about it, the ingredients, how they feel. That's as much you're going to do. And they put it out already to the community, which tells you they voucher for it. So what are you going to do? Play scientist of scientists? And you ain't even a scientist in the first place? Come on, bro. You are scared to die from taking the vaccine. Let's just keep it 100. That's what it is. It's not about the vaccine, per se. It's about your fear of death from the vaccine. You got to get over your fears. Okay? You got to get over your fears. That's the bottom line. Because what I see is a lot of these people that's banding to be anti-vaxxers, you are nothing but conspiracy theorist type people anyway. That's your problem. See, the difference between me and you might think me and you share a common enemy. No, we do not. My enemy is the lies, and I have the truth to counter the lies. I expose the truth for real. While you have all these alien and reptilian perspectives and all this. Nah, that's not me and you not the same, bruh. Me and you not the same. And so when this came along about the vaccine, you hop right on being anti-vax because you're already thinking all these crazy theories about the community. I'm not that type of person. I'm showing you 40 states allows adults to have sex with children. That's what I'm showing you. I'm showing you 40 states by law allows adult cock, adult penis to go inside female child vagina. That ain't no conspiracy. That ain't no conspiracy at all. A matter of fact, it's your laws. That's what it is. It's your documented laws. So separate me from these conspiracy theorists. I'm giving you facts. I'm all about the facts. I'm all about the facts. I'm all about the facts. Gangbanging, killing black children, that's the facts. Okay? Black people, they have never stopped killing each other, is the facts. Racism, white racism runs America and not progressive white America that they try to make you feel runs America. That's the facts. Racist white America still runs this. Okay? I'm kicking the facts here. So let's separate me from these conspiracy theorist people. Because that's all I've been doing is kicking the facts to you. That's facts. That's not a matter of opinion. That's not a matter of theory. Okay? You got it? Good. Okay? So, same thing with this. This is a matter of facts. You try to face this COVID-19 virus head on like a Mack truck, you ain't going to win that fight most likely. Especially with these new variants that's coming out every 4 to 5 months. You're not going to be able to survive. More and more variants coming out. You're not going to be able to make it. That's the bottom line. And what are you going to do? You're going to choose to fight this straight on or take your chances with side effects that rarely people get with taking the vaccine. You've seen enough people take it. See anything that happen to them? See them drop dead? Okay, you need to go get it. Simple as that. I can see the hesitation in the beginning, like me, like most people. Okay, don't know about that. But now you're starting to thaw out as far as how many people getting it in the community, and you're starting to realize, okay, they're not dropping dead. You need to go get it. Because I'm going to tell you who is dropping dead. Unvaccinated people, including unvaccinated Christians. That's who's dropping dead, buddy. There's plenty of pastors out there that is not using wisdom. Okay? You got to use wisdom. Okay? God may have given them that answer. That is a God-given answer. Although they try to take credit, God has given them the brain that they have. Take away your brain and then start taking credit for what God does. Then start taking for credit for the things that actually God does. God gave you a brain. That's all. Everything you make is still His credit. Okay? That's for Christians that are kind of bushwhack and kind of wacky. Okay? God gave man the brain. God gave man the brain. And when he comes up with, still God gets the credit for that. Boom. Now, if man takes himself out of the brain that God gave him, out of the heart, out of the body, out of the anatomy that God gave him, and he makes himself something else, then you could begin to take credit. Until then, God made your brain, buddy. Okay, got it good. Boom. So, back to you people that, that don't understand. You're going to be eventually in a vaccination camp, man. They're going to put you, you're going to think it's Hitler. You're going to think it's a Third Reich. You're going to think it's, you're going to be looking for swastikas. You're going to be looking for all of that because you're going to be in a camp. That's no disrespect to the Holocaust and all of that. But these people are going to be in a camp, man. I'm telling you. They're going to be in a camp somewhere, and you're going to be talking about, well, what? You are now, after 5 years, you sit and watched us. You're going in the third year now. 2020, 2021, and 2022. This is the third year, basically, a year of COVID. 2020, you might as well say, that was a full year. You might as well say, by March, it was on the community. So that's pretty much the year. So now you're working on your third year. Here you are. The vaccine is here. I know you're shell-shocked, but now the vaccine is here. I know you've been shell-shocked. Some of y'all still traumatized from the whole effect of it all. And you're still in that state of mind, not realizing, hey, it's a vaccine now. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Because, see, in 2 more years, and even when Donald Trump get out of office, you don't know what brutal dictator is coming. In America, there's going to have no tolerance for black on black crime, going to have no tolerance for you shooting black kids and then crying about one shooting from the police. That day is going to be done with. Your foolishness is going to be done with. Period. It ain't nobody moving in on you. It's you moving in on yourself. Soon somebody start talking like this. The enemy is coming. You are the enemy to yourself. You brought it on yourself. You lost your mind, bruh. That's a God complex. Something. You sitting around doing all this evil and then think nobody ain't gonna come for you. You tripping. But, boy, you tripping. Boom. Boom. You gonna do all this evil. You doing all this evil and think nobody ain't coming for you. Explain that to me. I just want a straight shot answer. Shoot straight. Please shoot straight with me. How is you gonna do evil and expect, including shooting kids getting shot, and expect no evil to come for you and nobody to come for you and your enemies not to give. I feel like they have right to come for you. Come on, bro. It's too much of an elephant in the room. So eventually, I'll say all that to say this. Eventually, in the future, when some dictator comes along in America, it's coming. It's coming. Like based on your craziness, it's coming. When that person comes, he or she is putting the unvaccinated in the camp and taking crazy black people off the streets and putting them in the camp right there too. Hey, you already got a vaccination camp. Why not put these other crazy people in the camp? In fact, what I think they should do, in my opinion, they should begin to open up mental hospitals again. Them real big ones they had, not the ones connected to the hospital, them little wards. Nah, that ain't enough. They need to do what they used to do back in the day. And I really believe this. Because that dude who pushed that woman, that Asian woman, that black dude that pushed that Asian woman onto the train tracks in the subway, he needs to be in a mental hospital for the rest of his life. That's what he needs. And he's homeless and he can't get it together because he's mental. Okay? He can't keep it together. Okay? So we need to open up these big, huge mental hospitals like they had in the 60s, in the 50s. That's what we need to do. You'll be amazed how many people will be off the streets because they're mental. That's why they're on the streets. What else they gonna do? They can't hold a job. What else they gonna do? Of course they're homeless. Of course. What they gonna do? Go hold a job? Go be Bill Cosby? Go be a Huxtable? It's not gonna happen. So what do you? So you're practicing a form of insanity yourself because you're doing the same thing to them, expecting different results, expecting some light bulb to go off, and they're mentally sick. You need to. These are not homeless people. These are mentally sick people. I did a whole video on this, and I guess I need to do it again, differentiating the difference between people without a place to stay and drug addicts, drunks, and alcoholics and mentally sick people. It's a whole different difference. I was without a home. I was out without a place to stay. You see me acting civilized, right? You see me, nothing crazy going on, right? Okay. So I've proven that I'm able to be civilized and be able to be in a place of my own and hold it down myself and not harm myself and not harm anyone else. Meanwhile, there are some mentally sick people that cannot coexist with other people. They're crazy. They do stuff. They say stuff to people, do stuff. They need to be somewhere in a mental hospital. Bottom line, I don't care how it looks. Everything that glitters is not gold. People that show signs of mental sickness, true mental sickness, harming others, talking crazy to others, they need to be in a mental hospital. By the stacks, by the floors, by the 30 levels. I'm talking about 30-floor mental hospitals. Yeah, because what are you going to do with them? You move them into a place where they can stay on their own. They crazy, talking crazy to people. Accusing people of things they ain't do. They need to be in a mental hospital. Bottom line. That's the bottom line. And I believe in protecting myself from crazy people. You're right. I got me a weapon. You're crazy. I got a weapon. I got something just for you. I got a remedy for you. I got a tonic for you, buddy. I got a good tonic for you. Nice, delicious tonic. Delicious to me. But that's what needs to happen. They need to be somewhere in a mental hospital, and that will cause a lot of homeless people to get off the streets. A lot of these people that also are refusing the vaccination, go check their background. They probably bipolar. What are you going to do? Somebody's bipolar refusing to take the vaccine. Let's keep it 100. This is an issue. I need to do a video on this alone. Schizophrenic, paranoid people, bipolar people, all the other mental sicknesses that there are. You think those people are going to trust you to give them a vaccine? You think they're going to trust a vaccine? Come on, man. You got a lot of people that's even bipolar that's not getting the vaccine, bruh. They too bipolar. Especially the ones that ain't on their meds. They ain't on their meds, they ain't on their pills. Bruh, they're not getting the vaccine. So what are you going to do about them? And even if they do get meds, they're still kind of off. How are you going to get them vaccinated? You got to take them to vaccination camps. The mentally sick most likely will be the most stubborn, resistant community. How are you going to get schizophrenic, paranoid people who have the option of taking the vaccine or not taking it? What you going to do with bipolar people that don't want to take the vaccine? And really, it's because they're bipolar. You can't pull them out of that world. You can't say don't be bipolar about this decision. It's going to be a bipolar decision, which is probably going to be no. I'm not going to get vaccinated ever. What are you going to do with them after 4 and 5 years and they walking around bipolar spreading COVID and different variants of COVID? What are you going to do with them? That's all I'm saying. People that suffer from psychosis, psychotic people. What are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with people that suffer from psychosis? They're not going to get vaccinated, folks. So this is a whole nother topic. The mentally sick are going to be the most stubborn, resistant, and they're all working at your jobs. I say it like Suge Knight. They're all in your videos. For all these singers that's bipolar, they all in your videos. No disrespect. I'm not saying all bipolar people are not going to get vaccinated. But we can agree that mental sickness can be a hindrance for people getting vaccinated. And what we're going to do with them? Eventually, they're going to have to put them in vaccination camps, folks.